it all began with a message, a tip sent to a detective's phone at midnight. At first, it seemed like a prank. But when the messages kept coming, predicting locations, revealing secrets, he realized something far more sinister was at play. Missing people. Abandoned buildings. Phones that shouldn't work, giving directions only he could follow. Tonight, we follow Detective Harlow as he walks into the shadows of the city, tracing the invisible trail of a mysterious force that's always watching, guiding, waiting. This is a story of suspense, deception, and survival, a crime thriller unlike anything you've seen before. And it all starts with a single message. The night Detective Marcus Harlow received the first tip, he thought it was a prank. The city was full of them, people craving attention, tossing out cryptic messages just to watch someone scramble. But something about this one made him hesitate. He was in his cramped office on the third floor of the precinct, fluorescent lights humming overhead, when his phone buzzed. He didn't recognize the number. Detective Harlow. Check 48, Maple Street. Midnight. No signature. No explanation. Just an address and a time. He leaned back in his chair, rubbing his temple. Midnight was an hour away. Part of him wanted to dismiss it. Another part, a deeper, nagging instinct, urged him to go. Years on the force had taught him that instinct often mattered more than evidence. By the time he arrived, Maple Street was quiet, nearly deserted. A faint mist curled along the sidewalks. Street lamps flickered like failing candles. Number 48 stood dark and silent, curtains drawn tight. One faint glow seeped through the cracks, as if the house were breathing. Harlow approached the front door slowly, hand hovering over his holster. The silence stretched. He knocked once. Twice. No answer. Tried the handle. Locked. Then his phone buzzed again. Same number. Inside. Don't be afraid. Harlow frowned. Fear wasn't what he felt. Confusion was. How could someone know he was already here? Another message appeared almost immediately. Check your own phone. He pulled it out, thumbs trembling, and unlocked the screen. His own messages. And at the top, a thread he didn't recognize. A single video file blinked, unread. He tapped it. The footage was grainy, shaky, taken from above, looking down at the house. And then he saw her, a woman, sprawled on the living room floor, motionless. Blood pooling beneath her. And then, impossibly, her phone lit up on the coffee table. Harlow could hear it ringing. A sound he didn't recognize, yet it was familiar in some strange, instinctual way. The video ended abruptly. Words appeared on the screen, typed slowly, deliberately. I didn't want to die. Harlow's pulse quickened. He called it in. A 9/11 tip, anonymous, reporting a woman murdered inside number 48. Backup was dispatched, but when they arrived, the apartment was empty. Pristine. Not a trace of blood, not a trace of struggle. The next morning, Harlow tried to dismiss it as a hoax. But the second tip arrived. Same number. Sarah Ellis. 2, Oak Street. She's gone. Look in her messages. Sarah Ellis. He remembered the name. Reported missing 3 days ago. Teacher, late 20s, meticulous, quiet. Harlow pulled up her phone records and noticed a detail he'd missed before. In each case, before someone disappeared, text messages appeared from unknown numbers. They always predicted locations, always predicted times. He could no longer dismiss it as coincidence. The third tip arrived at 2:13 a.m. Jason Klein. 19th Avenue. Behind the laundromat. By now, Harlow was consumed. Barely sleeping. Living in his office, scanning records, rewatching videos, retracing every tip. Every number led nowhere, no carrier, no registered user. Just a phantom on the other side of the messages. And the messages weren't static. They were interactive. He could reply, and the phones responded, not in words exactly, but in images, short videos, directions, precise coordinates. Almost as if someone, or something, was guiding him. 3 nights later, he faced the first confrontation. A tip led him to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. Another video, this one not of a victim but of him. Shot from a second-story window, the footage tracked his every step. Across the screen, words typed slowly. "I'm watching you now." Harlow's instincts screamed at him to call for backup. But another message appeared. "Go inside. Look for the evidence. She is there." He drew his gun and entered. The warehouse was cavernous and empty except for a desk in the center. On the desk, a smartphone lay, screen aglow. He approached. The screen displayed a single line. "Don't be afraid. I need your help." The phone rang. The ringtone was the same haunting tone from the first video. Harlow answered. A voice, faint, trembling. "Sarah Ellis. They'll kill me if you don't, find it." The line went dead. Forensic analysis later confirmed it, the call originated from Sarah's phone. But that phone had been in police custody for 2 days. Harlow's reality shifted. Someone, or something, was using devices that shouldn't have been accessible. And yet, they were guiding him, leaving him breadcrumbs only he could follow. The next tip led him to a derelict storage facility near the train tracks. Inside, the evidence was horrifying, signs of struggle, blood smeared along walls, a phone resting atop a filing cabinet. Sarah's phone. Its screen lit with a message. "Find the truth. Before it's too late." From there, a pattern emerged. Another missing person. Another phone. Each tip came after the victim disappeared. Each tip delivered through a phone that should have been inoperable or unreachable. Harlow's nights blended into days. He followed clues through abandoned buildings, empty streets, forgotten alleyways. Sleep became a memory. And with every message, he felt a presence, something beyond comprehension, guiding him, coaxing him forward. Weeks later, he began to see the connection. The victims weren't random. Each had reported minor harassment, threats, strange calls that the authorities dismissed. They were small red flags, ignored. And now, somehow, the victims themselves were reaching out through the very devices meant to protect them. Then came the final tip. No video this time, only a message. "I am with you now. Find the last one." The directions led him to an old, abandoned church at the edge of the city. Inside, the air was thick with dust. Sunlight filtered through broken stained glass windows, casting fractured colors across the pews. Harlow moved carefully, flashlight slicing shadows. At the altar lay a phone, screen cracked but functional. He picked it up. Video played automatically. The last victim, alive, terrified, whispering words he could barely hear. "They're watching, don't trust." The video ended. The screen displayed a new line. "Look behind you." Harlow spun. Empty church. Silence. His own phone buzzed in his pocket. The screen lit automatically. "Thank you." Weeks later, all the missing were found, alive but shaken. Their ordeal had left no trace. Authorities never confirmed who had saved them. And Harlow never discovered the source of the messages. He stopped following the phones. Sleep returned slowly, but sometimes, late at night, a new message would appear on his own device. No number. No signature. "I am still here." Harlow never touched it. Not tonight. Not ever. But deep down, he knew it was listening. Always. Waiting for someone else to answer. And when it does, you can never forget it.